Hi, I'm Sasha, and I'll be your examiner today. Could you tell me your name, please?
Hi, I'm Peter Parker.
Okay, let's talk about museums. Are there many museums in your hometown?
Well, I'm not interested in museums, so I don't really know about this. But I'm quite sure there must be one or two museums in my hometown. They're everywhere.
Do you often visit museums?
As I've just told you, I'm not particularly interested in museums. So far, I've only visited one of them, which was a science museum in Hanoi. It was kinda awesome.
What kind of museums do you like best?
If I have to choose one, then it'll be Science Museum. I love to see how things are made, their mechanism, and the development of machines, computers, and stuff like that.
And do you prefer to visit museums or art galleries?
I'm not really an art person, to be honest, so I'd say museums. Art galleries are the last places I want to visit. At least museums help me understand more about the past, and they have fun facts that I can use to impress the girls.
Let's talk about films. Do you like to watch films?
Yeah, sure. I'm a big fan of action movies. The Avengers, Spider-Man, Ant-Man, Stupid Man, you name it. I'm also a huge fan of action movies where there are only two actors. You know what I'm talking about, Sasha?
Which one do you prefer, Vietnamese films or foreign films?
I'd go with foreign films. I love the fact that foreign actors are so talented. Their performance is much better compared to our dull and tasteless actors.
Do Vietnamese people like to go to a cinema to watch films?
I would say yes. Because if you go to a Vincom City Tower during the weekend, you can see thousands and thousands of young people there, and I think it's quite reasonable. I would also go to the cinema and watch movies there rather than at home. Better sound system, better atmosphere, and stuff like that.
Okay, I'm going to give you a cue card containing a topic. You'll have 1 minute to prepare and then you'll need to speak about the topic for 1 to 2 minutes.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
Talking about an educational trip, I think I'm going to tell you about the trip to the Science Museum that I told you just now. Because I think that it was the only educational thing that I've received from my school so far. It was about 6 or 7 years ago when I was still in secondary school. And I'm not sure if you know about this, but the education system in Vietnam is just really bad. It only focuses on theory but not application. So I was so thankful for that trip because it truly encouraged students like me to learn about the world around us. And the museum is located not too far away. If I remember correctly, we arrived at the site in the morning and stayed there until the afternoon. So the trip was a total of 6 hours. And about the museum, I think it's one of the largest ones in Hanoi. It's a complex that is made up of 5 or 6 buildings, and each one displays different stuff. I remember there was a physics building, a math building, a chemistry one, and of course another building for biology. And I was totally amazed by all of them, to be honest. I was particularly interested in a very old telephone, kind of ancient technology, really. It was a rotary dial telephone, and I was surprised by how such simple and ancient piece of technology could help us send out information over a very vast distance. They also displayed how technology evolved from very basic pieces of equipment to the modern smartphones and state-of-the-art devices that we have today. And after that trip, I was so inspired by science that I've become a nerd, basically, and studied like crazy since then.
Okay, very well. Now, what is the role of the teacher in educational trip?
I think teachers are there mainly to accompany students and supervise them and take control of the situation if anything goes wrong. That's exactly what the teachers did during my trip to the Science Museum. And trips are mostly for young students, so there can be many potential problems like students wandering around and getting lost.
Why do some parents want their kids to receive education at home?
I don't really know. Maybe some of them are overprotective when it comes to the safety and well-being of their little children. There are bullies and all sort of dangerous stuff going on in school. Other than that, I think some parents may feel that the education system here does not suffice, and they might think that it's better for their children to study at home under their supervision, maybe.
Do you think homeschooling will become popular in the future?
Well, not in my country, I suppose. Vietnamese people are not really good at educating their children. We do that wrongly all the time. And I think it's best to leave formal education to schools and qualified teachers.
What do you think are the problems that students are facing when they graduate?
Well, as I told you, the system is extremely theoretical and has no real application whatsoever. All the fresh graduates that I know have no work experience at all. It makes it difficult for employers because they need to provide the students with full training. My parents run a small business, and to be honest, they find this lack of experience of students very disturbing.
Can the employers do anything about this to improve the situation?
I think they can at least cooperate with schools and university to provide students with, say, internship and early training to solve this problem. They can run websites that educate students about what to do and how to equip themselves with more knowledge and lessons about their future career.